welcome back to episode 16 of Unhealthy Discourse. As always, I'm Aarin.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Maddie.
We have a guest, another guest. My lovely friend Maddie is joining us because we had just a topic that needed to see three sides, three opinions, and she is going to fill in that role for us. And hopefully she doesn't win, but maybe she will. We'll see.
Have we ever had a guest win?
No.
No,
I think
not.
it's intentionally rigged against the guests. So just letting you know, Maddie.
Good luck.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, this should be good. But the topic today that we will be discussing is dates versus dates versus dates. Calendar dates versus romantic dates versus the date fruit. I will be taking the side of romantic dates. Matthew will be taking the side of calendar dates. And lovely Maddie will be taking the side of the fruit, the date. And pretty much every single time I make Matt go first because I just want to, prepare my argument a little bit better. So why break tradition? Matthew.
Because I'm always so well prepared.
Yeah, you pretty much every time you crush it, so.
Well, look, guys, today's date is Saturday, August 20th, 2022, at the time of this recording. It's probably a different date when people are listening to this.
Almost assuredly, yes.
Almost certainly. And did you guys know that days aren't actually 24 hours? Like there's fluctuation in the amount of time that a day is. So it actually could be a different date right now, and we wouldn't even know it.
What does that even mean?
What do you mean? What does it mean? So like some days are like 23 hours and 56 minutes. Some days are like 24 hours and 2 minutes. So like if you like add and subtract it over time, maybe it's a full 24 hours. So actually today is like actually August 21st, 2022.
Well, what I want to know is who's keeping track of how long it actually is. And I want to know exactly how long today.
A robot or something, or a scientist? I don't know. It's not my job.
What? Maybe it should be.
Maybe.
Can you get on that?
Doesn't the leap year account for that? Like, what is that?
Really?
I don't know.
It should. Okay, I feel like you're off to a bad start because we're confused and annoyed, and you're supposed to pro date.
Okay, I'll take a different angle. We use the Gregorian calendar. I really know nothing about calendars or dates.
Please tell me who Gregory was.
He's Greg.
Who was
He's one of the guys.
Greg?
He's one of the guys.
The boys?
One of the boys.
Not to be confused with Greg the Egg.
No.
All right.
Are you a Succession fan, Matthew?
No, I don't know that reference.
Oh, okay. Well, for the Succession fans out there, Greg the Egg, a classic character. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I mean, has the year always started on January 1st? Maybe.
Who's to say? Who's to say it hasn't?
Julius Caesar introduced his calendar, and yeah, he made January 1st the start of the year. But the church didn't like that. So they tried to get rid of it, maybe. And
maybe.
And then maybe it switched back. I don't know. I can't read this fast. I'm really just learning everything on the spot. There's a lot of information about dates, like way too much.
Well, what I want to know is if you were the ruler of the Roman Empire, would you just decide?
Oh, what I would do is definitely make every month the same number of days.
Oh my God.
Do you know which ones are how many days? Because I still have never learned.
Oh yeah, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except February.
Okay. Well,
that doesn't rhyme.
You made it seem easy, but
yeah. Well, so for my job, I always have to know like exactly how many days are in each quarter and each month. And so like I always am saying that to myself, and I'm like, this one little thing that I learned in 3rd grade or before or whatever in my math textbook just really sticking with me. Also, I think about this regularly. On the day that we learned about the calendar in school, I remember the teacher asked the question before we learned about it, how many days in a year? And because I had always seen those signs that said open 364 days a year because they were closed on Christmas, I thought it was 364 days. So I shot up my hand and I said 364, and she went, no. And I remember this girl next to me, Katie, she was like, how did you know? And I was like, well, I got it wrong. And then she said it was 365, and I was just so ashamed that I was one day off. And I still think about it sometimes.
Yeah, that's sad. Why is there also why is there 365? I guess because that's like roughly how long it takes for us to rotate around the sun.
Yeah.
But that's not exact either, right? Like it's not like on New Year's, like at midnight, we completed a full rotation. It's kind of like everything just seems to be, rounding.
Yeah, but I mean, who's to say where the rotation starts, right? So you were completing some rotation.
Yeah. Yeah. Or close to completing rotation.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the days of the week? Because that's part of calendar days, right?
I like that they all end in Y.
Yeah. Yeah, the consistency is definitely there.
Yeah. I also like the opportunities for like alliteration and fun, like Taco Tuesday, Trivia Tuesday, Throwback Thursday. But who am I to say all this? Because I am not pro calendar date. I am pro romantic date. So I'm going to let you continue.
Oh, no. I think you should just cut me off.
That's this whole podcast. It should be renamed Aaron Cuts Off Matt and Maddie.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's wrap it up here. In summary, dates are pretty confusing. They don't make much sense. Probably we should maybe I would change it a little bit, and that's about it.
So pretty much you're anti-date.
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag. Okay, I don't think that I'm super sold.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
Maybe our arguments will be somehow worse. So only time will tell.
That would be impressive.
Yeah. It's kind of a low bar, Maddie. Yeah. I think that because you're new and I want to throw you under the bus, I'm going to make you go next.
Okay.
So up next, we have Maddie with date fruits.
Yes, date fruits. I also first want to just kind of make a comment about dates on the calendar.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good. Argument not done yet.
Oh yeah, exactly. Please pad his argument. It's already so poor.
I just want to put this one out there so people can be just shocked.
Yeah.
The other week when I was at work, I had somebody say to me, ask me, well, what's the date in Ethiopia right now? And I said, what do you mean? It's this day, and I said the date, and they were like, no, it's a different day in Ethiopia. I said, what? And this patient might not have all been,
with it.
And I was like, no way. And he's like, yeah, I'll look it up. And I looked it up on Google, and I was like, no, it says this date. And then he looked it up, and apparently the Ethiopian calendar is very different from ours. Today in Ethiopia, it is November 14th, 2014.
What?
Yeah. Just take that in for a second.
Dude, Ohio State's on their way to winning a national championship in Ethiopia.
Can't wait. Can we go to Ethiopia and relive it?
Yeah. Oh man.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild. Wait,
isn't that confusing too?
Dude. Do you know why?
The internet, says that it's because the Gregorian calendar, I guess, Greg, right?
Greg.
Yep. He, or maybe not he, but whoever that is.
Yeah.
Greg the egg.
Okay. Um,
Egg-based
there
Greg.
was a discrepancy in seeing, I guess, when Jesus was born.
Oh, I can see why there would be a discrepancy
off
there.
by, a few years.
Or maybe we're off.
8. Who knows who's right?
Who knows?
We don't have his birth certificate.
I wish it was 2014.
I mean, we kind of do in the Bible, but
yeah.
Who knows? Anyway.
That is fascinating.
So that is a
literal time travel.
Little mind twist for you.
If anyone ever says time travel is impossible, it'd be like, well, have you ever been to Ethiopia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is time travel.
Yeah.
It's actually super easy to invent time travel if you just change the date of everything.
Yeah, like for a long time, the clock in my car was 8 minutes fast, so like that's pretty much time travel.
Exactly.
Because in my car, it's the future.
You're manifesting the future,
right?
The Ethiopian calendar sounds perfect. It's composed of 13 months, 12 months of 30 days, and 1 month of 5 or 6, depending if it's a leap year.
Wait, I gotta know what month got the runt of the litter. Like, what is it called?
It's called runt.
Runt 12.
No, what is it actually called?
I don't know.
Pagum.
Which is Ethiopian for runt.
The 13th month is called Pagume. Has 5 or 6 days depending on the year. That is cheating.
Yeah.
They really didn't give him any.
Wait, that's kind of cool. I feel like they should just make Pagum like 1 5 or like week-long party every single year.
It should be.
Maybe
there's no reason it shouldn't be.
We gotta check that out.
And then all the other months they can make them.
Oh, that's a huge tourist sales or like come live in Ethiopia. We have like an entire month of vacation. And it's the 5-day month.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, like you're getting your benefits for your new job there, and they're like, oh yeah, we give you a month's paid vacation. It's like sick. It's like actually it's 5 days.
Gotcha.
Except for next year, it might be 6. You might get lucky.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like that really
I think Maddie
bolsters my argument.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she really padded your argument, Matthew, because this is fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I'm in the running again.
Yeah,
but
okay. Well, let's learn about fruit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I myself am a lover of dates, the fruit. I don't know about everybody else.
I will say I have made some stuffed dates before, and I gave them to my neighbor, and they were very pleased. And then she gave me some caramels in return. So
what did you stuff it with?
Coconut and an almond.
Wow. See, the coconut, like, on the outside of the dates when you get to the grocery store. So good.
Damn.
Love that.
Actually, screw dates.
Haha, gotcha. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I think dates have been around for a long time.
Isn't there sort of like a school of thought that believes dates and figs are the same, or no?
Well, they're not.
They're not.
Date comes from a Greek word that means finger.
I watched a YouTube video on that conspiracy theory. I'm not sold, but
did you make it? You're not sold. Oh God. Okay, sorry. I have tears coming from my eyes. It's for my own joke. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, they're both delicious.
Wait, so a date is a. Can we just go back to what is a date?
Well, a date is a fruit and it grows on a tree.
But it's dried, isn't it? Or is that a prune?
Well, prunes are dried also.
But are dates dried?
Are prunes a dried date?
Well,
or dried prune?
They are high in, substance that's not water, like most.
Okay,
fruits.
so okay.
But they do grow on trees.
All right.
I guess people can, use them for food and soap and many other different things. They have a really long shelf life.
Oh,
which is really useful.
That is.
Yeah. They there's actually lots of different kinds of dates, which I just learned.
I know of I don't know how you say it, but MEJDOOL.
Like the medjool dates.
Yeah.
Those are probably the most. I mean, if I were to
I
guess,
didn't know if the J
popular.
was
Metal?
silent. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Our dates, they have like the hard nut in the middle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but they're very easy to pit. If you ever want a good activity to relieve anxiety, just buy a bunch of unpitted dates and just take a spoon and just unpit for hours, and then you'll have dessert for literally months.
Yeah, because they have a long shelf life.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I need to stop padding your argument.
So good for, those with anxiety, those that are hungry, those that stress eat.
Right. And high in sugar, so it's a good dessert.
Yeah.
I mean, screw dates.
Yeah. Good for the brain. Brain food.
Brain food.
Yep. Yes, they do have some sugar. High in fiber too.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's good for the
the
digestion. Yeah.
Yeah. So brain food, gut food.
Yeah.
Apparently 3% of the Earth's farmland is covered by date palms.
No way.
Yeah.
You know what I learned fairly recently? Actually, that's not even true. It was like 3 years ago, but in the span of, the Gregorian calendar, that's pretty recent, I learned that AT&T is the largest landowner in the US outside of the US government. But
what?
Who's to say, like, who owns more land across the world, AT&T or date palms? I don't know if that question's ever been asked.
Yeah, you have to think about that.
Sorry.
No, it's food for thought.
It
right?
is literally, yeah.
Or just really like corn own the most in the US
corn
at
probably
least.
Has so much.
A lot.
Well, I think watermelon has the amount of land that a watermelon requires to grow is just astronomical.
Well, what about like rice patties? Or is that?
Well, I mean, they all.
Now I want to know.
Plug for Stuff You Should Know podcast about watermelons, because 45 minutes of just pure facts.
Yeah, they have some good stuff on there, that podcast. But you know who also does? Unhealthy Discourse. So maybe Stuff You Should Know should be plugging us for, date, calendar, and romance knowledge.
I think some sources say that you can survive just purely on dates.
Sort of like beer and dates.
Beer.
That should be the new diet.
That is the perfect diet.
Yeah, it kind of really touches all bases, right?
Yeah.
When you're in the mood to party, you have the beer. When you're in the mood to be, I don't know, like a little bit more in the solid food realm.
Yeah. Both contain anxiety.
The dates are going to help with the digestion of the beer.
Oh my God, so true.
The beer is going to cover your grains as well as drinking.
I mean, it's like, I guess it's a form of hydration, although I think it does dehydrate you. But
yeah.
You could you survive?
Well, isn't dehydration a form of hydration?
You would need water to survive.
Yeah.
There's water in it. That doesn't count, probably.
Fine. We will allow for some water. But it's mostly beer and dates. I think that should be the next thing.
Yeah.
Look out, keto.
Yeah.
It's going to be on.
Should we name it the Unhealthy Discourse diet?
That's going to be, that's good branding to have the word unhealthy.
Is a good word to have in a diet name.
Well, we're going to try it. We're going to try it for 30 days and we'll get back to the listeners.
Should I set out maybe like a Survey Monkey? Although I think you have to pay for those.
Oh, I think you do a free version with ads or something.
Okay, so if we did like a free version Survey Monkey to just like, I don't know, people ages, what do you say? Like people who diet. So like, I don't know, 25 to 55, predominantly, like, I would say people with a BMI over 25. I think that we could probably figure out maybe if there's some interest there.
The average American.
Yeah.
Oh, people are interested, for sure.
Okay, sorry. Central tenets of your argument, Maddie.
Okay. High in nutrients. You can survive on a beer and date diet.
Mm-hmm.
They grow very well in, hot climates, and the world's only getting hotter. So
Oh, wow. That is a good point.
they need 100 days of 100 degrees a year,
Wow.
Whoa,
which is absurd.
that's a lot.
So we're gonna be eating a lot more dates in the future.
So they predominantly grow in, like, the Middle East?
Yeah, it's the national. I think it's one of the national, trees or symbols of Saudi Arabia.
Man, they're silly with dates over there.
Yeah, I mean, imagine all the things you can make with
dates and oil.
Yeah, you can probably build your house out of dates if you needed to, like the seeds even.
Oh God, dates.
There's just so many uses.
Might be tough to sell the date and beer diet there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's okay.
I would like to know, though, could dates be repurposed as an alternative fuel option? Because then Saudi Arabia could really, like,
Just
even more further
double down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Matthew, you don't know off the top of your head?
Talking about it right now.
I mean, we should at least consult them, like, if they're not listening already.
Right.
Someone should test it.
Yeah, I think the diet thing, alternative fuel. There's a lot of good ideas coming out of this episode.
Yeah, so many.
But I mean, we're already working on trademarks, so, like, for everyone else out there listening, just, like, don't even bother stealing this intellectual property.
I'm a lawyer.
But yeah, feel free to, listen. I think that's a good argument. So we got the calendar argument was that it sucks, but the Ethiopian calendar is really cool. We got the date argument that it's going to be great in the future when it's really hot. They're high in fiber, so they keep things moving. They're delicious. And there's, like, the beer and date diet could be a good possible future venture. And now we come to the finale.
Yes.
I have not prepared anything on this topic, but I have done a lot of how you say ground level experiential work in the romantic date field. Although most of mine turn out incredibly poorly, so I don't know if I'm necessarily the person to highlight this, but I'll go for it anyway. I think that romantic dates, they're things that make the heart flutter. And what is life about if not loving and getting excited and joy, right? So there's that. Another thing is that without dates, there would be a lot less people in this world. A lot less copulation.
Is that a pro or con?
I think that's a pro because honestly, who's to say that, like, the internet would have been invented if, Bill Gates did not invent the internet. If I know his name and it's escaping me. Anyway, the guy who invented the internet,
Thomas Edison.
Oh, Tim Berners-Lee, right? Didn't he invent? Oh, that was the World Wide Web. Yeah, if his parents, Berners and Lee, hadn't gone on a date, who knows? We wouldn't be able to record this podcast via the internet right now. And that would be a damn shame for the rest of the people out there in the world who wouldn't be able to hear our theories and thoughts. So there's that. Also, in terms of dates, is you get to try a lot of restaurants that you wouldn't normally think of trying. Pretty great. Also, at the end of dates, a lot of times you get a good hug. And, like, I don't think as species we get enough hugs, right? Although, I mean, hopefully at the end of your date, you're probably, smooching too, which is good. In terms of, I'm gonna just throw out some counter arguments to romantic dates, because I would like to throw in some personal experiences that I've had that might deter you from them, but I know that this is contradictory to the whole premise of the show, which is furthering your own personal agenda. But recently I went on a date and all right, so this man invites me to trivia night with his friends last minute, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll show up. It's like a short little walk. I show up, hugs me, hello, see, hugs, good for the soul. And then we sit down at the table with his friends, and I said, hello, I'm Aarin, to everyone, and they just didn't respond. And I was like, this is a great start. Good start. And then at one point, one of the girls, one of his friends, she was talking, but she's like a low talker. And I say, I can't hear anything you're saying. However, they failed to mention that one of his other friends was deaf. So then I just looked like an idiot. So this is really just off to a great start. I will say, small plug for me, there was a question about which two teams did Max Scherzer win the Cy Young with, and I nailed that question.
Yeah.
So just saying. For those wondering, it was the Tigers and the Nationals. But so there was that. And then afterwards, after trivia, he was like, hey, like, why don't we go to the whiskey bar across the street, just you and I? And I was like, cool, let's do it. So we go to the whiskey bar, and there's a new show out by Nathan Fielder called The Rehearsal. Are you familiar, Matthew?
I heard of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Pretty crazy. You should watch it. But this man that I'm on this date with says, oh yeah, there's a guy in the show and he's into numerology. And I was like, ah, yes, I'm familiar with that character who was pretty insane. And this guy goes, yeah, I'm into numerology, and if I see the number 13 anywhere, I avoid that thing at all costs. And one thing I would just like to point out is that I have a friend of mine who owns a clothing brand with 13 in the title. And she sent me this little charm that I just, on a whim, put on a chain and wore around my neck because the chain seemed a little empty. It meant nothing to me. But what does this charm have on it but just the number 13? And did I choose to wear it on this date on a whim? Absolutely. So that I whip it out, and I was like, you mean 13 like this? And the man was like shocked, taken aback, and from that moment on the date, it was like it took on a different tone, and I'll never see this man again. So negative
You're like a demon.
dating. So I had to throw that in there as like a counter argument. However, I will say other pro to date is that it gives you incredible stories to tell your friends and on podcasts. So there is that. So I would just like to say central tenets of my argument are that in many ways, dates are very wholesome. They make the heart happy. They make you smile. They bring you joy. You end up having like more hugs. That's great. It's good for the soul. Also, you get to try new restaurants. Huge. Love that. Or just new experiences in general. I went on a sunset surfing date recently. That was a delight. Additionally, you get to dress up, which I love. And I believe I said one other thing about dates. Oh yeah, I said that, maybe the internet wouldn't have been invented without dates. So like, you got to think that, take that into account, because a lot of people wouldn't be here without them.
That's a pretty core part of the argument, I guess, is there's not as many alternative to dates to like reproduction. I guess we could all have arranged marriages, then there would be no dates.
We could, although in a way, what do you call the first meeting between the parties in arranged marriage?
Meeting.
You call it a meeting?
Yeah.
Are you
romantic
sure?
meeting? No.
It's just
I mean,
a meeting.
You just called it a meeting.
Well, I was trying not to make it a leading question.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the other thing is pretty much any counter argument about dates is that, some of them are bad, but then they make for funny stories. So
Yeah, but some calendar dates are bad.
Mhm.
I don't need to tell you which
Name
one.
one.
Okay, 9/11, not great.
Okay, yeah, there's one.
Friday
Okay.
the 13th, also not great.
There's lots of those.
I
Another
don't know.
13
That's
reference.
kind of fun. All the holidays are on calendar dates. 420 is a fun date.
Yeah, anniversaries of
calendar.
people's deaths are on dates too, Matthew.
So are there birthdays, and there are more birthdays than there are people dying.
What?
I don't know if that is true, but I like that you have the confidence to say that.
Most people, like, how many birthdays do you typically have? And
Do
you
you
only
think
have
vampires
one
are
date
real?
that you die.
Okay, that is true. I didn't think about that. I was thinking about just like, oh, but that's birthday
Oh.
celebrations. That's not.
The
That counts.
anniversary of your birthday.
But like, there's a lot of anniversaries of people's deaths.
Yeah.
No one celebrates.
Infinitely many.
Those aren't happy.
Yeah, they go into mourning. Exactly. So I was trying to shoot you
Okay,
down.
well, those balance out then.
Yeah. And then we talk about the fruits.
You know, and I think what's important to recognize is we can eat dates on a date. On a
Whoa.
date.
Oh my God. Oh, did she just win?
I think we all win.
Matthew?
No, we're crossing the finish line together.
Oh God. I thought we had a rule in place that the guest was not allowed to win, but that was a really good point. Almost
Yeah.
as good. I would like to throw it back to that time that we were talking about the Earth's crust versus pizza crust. And I'm pretty sure that I made an argument that all pizza crusts were made on the Earth's crust. So
Yeah.
good little homage to a prior point that helped me win. But
I can't
I
believe you
think
remember
at this
that.
point it's time to tally up the points.
Okay. I give scores first.
Yeah, I think is that what we're gonna do this time? We tend to change up our tactics, every few episodes, but I like this. I like that you're just gonna assign us points and then we'll assign points. I don't know. I think you should just go.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember. What I like about the date fruit, the beer and date diet, I think we're really onto something there. And easy to pit, easy to
Matthew.
store. Yeah.
How about the other two parties give their scores and the average of that score is the person's score? So like you and I rate the Maddie's.
Yeah.
And then the average of that score is hers.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to give a score, then you're going to give Maddie a score, and we'll take the average. Okay. All right, I'm going to give a 30 for the fruit date.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'm going to give you 32.
What's it out of?
Infinite.
Infinite.
It's infinite.
Infinity?
Yeah, it's infinity. So
negative infinity to infinity.
Yeah. So yeah, I can really go anywhere on the number line. Even all integers, frankly. We could,
Yeah, we've never done non-integers, but we could theoretically.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we should maybe avoid irrational numbers, and we should maybe also avoid imaginary numbers.
Okay, let it be known on this calendar date.
Yeah.
That we decided to not use imaginary or
yeah.
Okay.
No I, no pi.
Fine.
Oh, see, Pi Day is a good calendar day. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So 230s for an average of.
So 30. 31. You got 31, Maddie.
Oh, you said 32. Okay, so
yeah.
31.
Oh wow.
That's a pretty high score.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Aarin.
Yep.
What I liked about your argument was you get to try new things on romantic dates.
That is
bars, true. Restaurants, movies you normally wouldn't see.
Right.
And even if they go bad, it's a funny story usually.
So true.
I'm gonna grade this solid argument. But not as fruitful as dates. I'm gonna give you a 28.
Damn. Okay.
Wow. Oh man, I feel a little biased. I mean, I think dates are a beautiful thing, like you highlighted. They really do give you that butterfly feeling in your stomach.
I knew that resonated with you.
And I don't think dates do the same thing for me. You know?
Oh wow, that's a good point.
Or calendar dates. I really just, it's August 20th. I don't get butterflies from
Could
that.
be the 12th in Ethiopia.
It could. It is the
Who
14th
knows?
of
Yeah.
December. So, and I think dates are important. I met my husband at a date, or our first date was a date party.
Oh my
So,
god!
I think I'm a little biased.
Wow, this is good.
I'm gonna. I really am confused about this point system a
Yeah,
little bit, but
everyone is. It's it's how
It's
it
extremely
works.
arbitrary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a 39.
Whoa!
Wow.
Huge.
Because of your story also. That really just added
my
some personal
God.
touch.
Thank you, Maddie. Wow, I'm so honored. I think that shoots me into the lead thus far, unless
It does.
I don't know.
So
we could
far.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's sort of a poor outlook for Matthew's argument, seeing as he just spent the whole time shitting on dates, but we'll see. I think I can find some I don't know, positive points in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and assign Matthew a 29
Wow.
for his attempt at reading at a fast pace about the Gregorian calendar while speaking on it, and because we threw him in out there first, and also the fact that everything occurs on a date. You can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I learned about the Ethiopian thing, which I'll be able to hold over strangers' heads for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
That was
that,
even though that wasn't something I said, it's part of my argument, so it counts.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's in your jurisdiction, so I think we're going to give it to you.
I'm factoring in the difficulty of this topic as well.
Oh, okay. Never do that.
Because no, I mean it's difficult. There's a lot of things about calendars.
That's true.
I talked about a thing that grows on a tree.
That's true. Oh, I was meant to make a joke earlier, very delayed, but I feel I might as well throw it in here. When you said dates grow on trees, I meant to say, yeah, they do. For me.
Oh. Yeah, that would have been funnier earlier.
Yeah. All right, but we can insert a laugh track maybe. That would be good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I'll do that.
Oh, okay, go back.
Okay. So where were we? Dates. I mean, we need them to keep our lives straight.
That's true.
I think you did a fair job at trying to rope in the Gregorian calendar, which I appreciate.
Good old Greg.
Yep. The Earth does revolve around the sun. Fact. So that was a good one for the homies.
Yeah.
To remind sometimes. So I think I'll give you a 29 as well.
Whoa.
Of 29. You know what? I'll take it. That puts me in last place, but probably deserved.
Amazing.
So Aarin is the winner. We continue the streak of guests not winning.
I love winning.
Which is good.
Should we maybe argue like winning versus twinning or something one of these days? Because I don't know. Imagine winning, losing. Like imagining the winning side of the argument losing.
Which might happen.
Could happen.
Huh. Yeah, maybe.
Food for thought. Food for thought. Well, thank you for the win, guys. Honestly, I don't know if I deserved it, but I honestly did. I mean, thank you. Thank you. That was a fun time debating, and just in time for us to move on to our second topic after this short break. Welcome back. We had some snacks. We talked about garlic naan, and now we're ready to enter our second segment, which is favorite back-to-school stories that we have of our past times back when we were in school. Aren't you glad to be out of school?
It was a time. It was a time.
I kind of miss school. I was thinking about it the other day. Mostly I loved the uniforms because I went to private school because I needed it. I needed to not get bullied as much for what I wore.
You think you get bullied less in private school?
I think for what you wear because everyone's wearing the same thing.
Fair.
However, we could wear whatever shoes we wanted within certain parameters, and you wouldn't believe the caste system that developed just based off the shoes that you wore.
Sure. Yeah.
And that was the only thing that was different. Also, just like whether or not you were pretty or ugly, and people love to make fun of that. Yeah.
And
Things like
yeah, in grade school, that was the only thing. You could wear like whatever shoes
Oh, right,
you
because
wanted.
you also went to private school. You wore
Yeah.
a tie in high school. Whoa.
Yeah. I will say I had pretty elite footwear in grade school.
Oh, that's
First,
nice. Like what are
first
we
with
talking?
the Air Force Ones.
Oh, wow.
I had, what were they? Damn, I can't remember. They were like ridiculous though. I also like had these white shoes that I drew on with markers, and it
That
was
gives
pretty
me
sick.
anxiety, but love that for you. My mom got all of our shoes at Payless.
Oh, I had the Allen Iverson shoes. Those were sick.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my feet grew so fast that my mom started scolding me for it. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? She's like, I'm getting all your shoes at Payless because you're going to grow out of them by next week. And I was like, honestly, that's fine. So I always had to knock off Converse from Payless. And believe me, a lot of these mean girls made me know it. They were like, those aren't even real Converse. And I was like, okay. I don't know what you want me to say to that. You're right. You know what they are, though? Black. And comfortable.
And cheap.
Yeah, and cheap.
Because I keep growing out of them.
Because I keep growing out of them. My mom's mad at me for it. Yeah. Oh, I did have this one pair. For whatever reason, it sticks in my mind. Of purple, like lavender and gray shoes. But again, they didn't fit me for very long. That I think about a lot. I'm like, oh, those were really cute. In like 2022, I'd wear those. And I remember reading them in like a breakout session room in like second grade. And I'm like, I'd really like to adapt that shoe to modern Aarin, you know? Any good shoe stories for you, Maddie?
Well, you know, I do remember when etnies were big.
Oh,
you guys remember etnies?
Those things were huge, weren't they?
Yeah, they were like skateboard shoes.
Yeah, those were big.
I had a couple friends, and
were you a skater girl?
I did not skate.
You just looked like it.
I had a snowboard and
ski,
but
that's a type of board.
I did not have a skateboard. But I did get etnies, and I personalized them to get, you know, some cool polka dots on them.
What was your hairstyle at the time?
I felt really cool in 4th grade.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was a time, but then they quickly went out of style. So
they did pretty quickly go out of style. I remember in high school, because I had a cute little uniform, although I did go to public school for part of high school, but I loved wearing little Oxfords, and they had ribbons as the laces, and
wow,
I lived for those shoes. Those were so great. I'm so glad that the preppy style is in right now, because like pretty much I could wear that for the rest of my life. Yeah, Matt's like, oh yeah, I knew that. But back to school stories.
Yeah,
Matthew, let's hear it.
First day of school, right?
First day of school. Yeah.
Even if you dropped out, you at least had a first day, you know?
Right. Generally, there's at least one.
Yeah. My only interesting first day of school story is the first day at a new school I missed because my seasonal allergies were so bad that I woke up and my eyes were swollen shut. I couldn't open them. And then I was like, I'm blind.
Oh,
and then my mom got me like a warm towel to put on my eyes, and then that brought down the swelling, and then I could see again. But I missed the entire day because of that.
Is your mom Jesus? Did she perform a miracle? She gave you the gift of sight.
We can't rule it out. Definitely no.
It's true.
And then, so on the second day of school, I show up to my classroom, and the teacher's like, no, what are you doing here? You're in the wrong class. I don't have any redheads in my class. I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be here, but I'll go to the other one. And then I go to the other one, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not supposed to be in this class. I don't have any redheads in my class.
What?
Like, okay, this is now becoming a vendetta against a redhead.
Yeah.
Apparently. So I go back to the first class, and I'm like, hey, I think I am supposed to be here. And then so the kids were like, yeah, it's the new kid. And she's like, oh shit, yeah, it's the new kid.
What a weird comment.
Jeez.
It was awkward to be the first day of school, and like I didn't belong. Oh,
No, I
and
didn't know
also
we
I
both
was
transferred. I didn't know that.
yeah, this was my first day of second grade
Oh, wait, what?
because I was born in Michigan, in the
I did
southern
not
part
know
of
that.
Michigan. Yeah, my mom was working in Detroit and my dad worked in Toledo. So
That I
they
knew.
lived in between in Monroe. It's kind of like halfway between both.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
familiar.
And
Nice.
also, I was a sweet little innocent boy. I didn't know that like putting your middle fingers up was a bad thing. And I don't know what, like maybe I pointed at something with my middle fingers. Like one of the kids was like, dude, don't do that. It's bad. I was like, no, it's not. And then I just started doing this all the time, flipping everyone off. So like, it's not bad. He's like, dude, what are you doing? You're crazy.
Oh my God. That reminds me of when I didn't know what the F word was, and I remember there was a kid in my class that kept saying frick, and I
Oh.
thought it was the F word, and I was like, "Oh my God, he keeps saying the F word," and then I learned later on that that was not actually the F word.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
14 or 15 years later.
Yeah. No, it took me a while. It took me a while before I learned. Um, yeah, that's a good story. I mean, pretty crazy about the allergies, but
Yeah, wow.
in a similar vein, if we're gonna allow me to go next, I did also have an allergic reaction on the first day of school. But
no.
on each of my first days of school in high school, I had like something notable happen to me. On my first day of freshman year, I had cross country after school, and I went into like the wrong place. Like I like kept my stuff in the women's locker room for like changing into for after school, and I guess I went into like the wrong one because there were like two different gyms, I guess. And so I was using the bathroom in there, and then I couldn't get the stall door open. And I was stuck in there. And then no one was coming in because I was in like the B gym, I guess. I didn't realize like I was in the wrong place. And so then I ended up missing like cross country practice on the first day of school because I was stuck in the stall for like 45 minutes. I couldn't get out, and because I have OCD, I was like I'm not going to crawl on the floor of this bathroom. Like I was like I can't do it. Like I was having a panic attack in the bathroom. And then eventually I just like folded over. My like little 98-pound Aarin was like so that was good. And then sophomore year, again with the cross country stuff, I kept all my stuff in like, a little like sports bag. And at lunch, I had like put it down somewhere. And then I came back or like to go do something. And I came back and someone had stolen my clothes. So then I had to run in my regular clothing.
What?
But luckily, after like 2 miles, I just was like, "This is crazy," and turned
miles.
around. And then on junior year, I was at the private school now, and I had like uniform skirts, and I remember that my dad had like changed laundry detergents, and I like was wearing this skirt or whatever, and I got to school, and I just like rash all down my leg and everything, and I was like
no.
allergic to the laundry detergent. And so then I was like freaking out about that. And then I also remember this wasn't like, I think it was the first day at the new school. So not the first, whatever. I was such a little weirdo. I remember they were like, "Oh, intro yourself in front of the class." And I like sort of panicked because I hadn't really prepared anything. And I got up to the front of the room and I was like, "Hi, my name's Aarin, and I have a slight obsession with tropical fish." And I sat down. In retrospect,
That's pretty good.
I don't have any idea why I chose to say that. And like up until like the end of high school, people were like, "Oh yeah, the tropical fish girl." I'm like, mind you, I ended up being like student body president and all this stuff, and like I was still tropical fish girl, which is good.
Once tropical fish girl, always tropical
Always
fish girl.
tropical fish girl. Yeah. All right, Maddie.
Yeah. Well, what I gotta ask, what's your favorite tropical fish?
Well, I was always buying beta fish when I would get sad in
Okay.
high school. So then I would just have all these separate bowls of beta fish. And at one point, my mom was like, "Aarin, you need to stop." But I don't know. I just like all fish. I don't really know all their names. I like fish names as a concept. Like a lot of them are just really funny. These are not tropical fish, but like porgy, scrod, like perch. Like I don't know. They're just funny names.
Piranha.
Yeah, piranha. That's good.
Yeah, they're very strange.
Yeah.
I forgot. Can I add one more story?
Yeah.
I forgot that this happened on the first day of first grade. I don't know why, but at recess, they would like throw the footballs out to everyone.
Oh yeah.
So it's like chaos because all the boys want a football. So you like surround them and then they throw the football out and you're like knocking people out of the way to get the football. And I was going for it and I like got shoved over or something and my face like scraped on the cement. And so I was like bleeding down the entire side of my face and I had to go home. And thus ended my first day of first grade.
This is like the most intense game of 3 flags up.
It was insane. It was an insane policy of, okay, all right, we only have a few footballs, not enough for everyone, so we're just going to throw them out in the crowd, in the masses, and let you fight for them.
Very like French Revolution vibes or something.
It was chaos because I was in first grade, so it was like the first graders, but there's also like up to 4th grade or 5th grade.
Oh God!
So all those kids are way bigger. I remember like we would get there was like one football that everyone wanted. And I got it one time, but like the 4th graders are like, give us the football. We had to like fight them back. It was.
And then when you were in 4th grade, were you nice or did they stop?
Well, then I went to a different school for 2nd grade. That's when I transferred, and they had enough footballs for.
You should have gone to the administration. You were like, I have this idea.
wait, you guys, you're gonna love this idea.
Sorry. Go ahead, Maddie.
Oh man, I don't know if mine's gonna be as good as
no.
that. Okay, let's see. I'm pretty sure this was 2nd or 3rd grade. First day of school. You know, it was the same exact school. I had some of the same friends. We were laying on the ground for some reason, and my one friend, one of my best friends, she was chewing gum. You're not allowed to chew gum, I don't think, in 3rd grade.
No.
But she was a rebel.
Ooh.
Somehow the gum ended up in my hair.
No.
So
like deep in, like near the root, or like just on an end?
It was kind of in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, my hair was not too long at the time. It was the end of the day, sort of. So I had to go to after school care. So we went, you know, just down the hall to the little cafeteria area, played games. So I took it upon myself to grab a pair of scissors and go to the bathroom because I was embarrassed. I was like, I have this gum in my hair. I don't want my mom to see.
Yeah.
I wasn't too good with the scissors.
Oh no.
Ended up cutting off a lot more hair than intended.
Oh no.
And my mom clearly noticed, and she took it upon herself to try to fix my hair that night.
No. I feel like that's when you go to a professional when someone boxes it.
Well, either. And then I looked at my hair the next day. I'm like, well, it's still uneven, but here we are. Yeah, and that was the last time I had gum in my hair, thankfully. But
I was gonna say those were very like 3rd grader decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I have gum in my hair. The only possible option is for me to cut it out myself.
Right, with a large pair of scissors.
Yeah, my mom didn't know. But then your mom made a very 3rd grader decision.
The tiny, like, really dull scissors that you would like cut construction paper with, and it would take like 6 years to get across.
But you could have used like the wavy
just, like,
one.
the paper.
The wavy scissors that made like.
Oh yeah, you could get a little bit fancy with
style. Yeah.
Big fan.
Wow, that would have been good. Well, with those stories, we hope everyone has a good back to school. Pretty sure that most of our viewerships is out of school, but maybe they have kids or they know someone who's a youth person, a child. Is in school.
Someone somewhere probably knows.
Yeah, someone somewhere probably knows, or they're in college or med school or getting an advanced degree, or they're or they're just, reading calculus for dummies somewhere and
Or they're retired and just taking classes for fun.
Oh my god, I have a great story about that, but I'll save it for another day.
Okay, good. That'll be the next topic.
Yeah, for the next time. That's the cliffhanger. Tune in if you want to hear about my old friend Carl from my freshman year astronomy class, and his bird watching love.
Don't give too much away.
Oh no, that doesn't even give away the half of it.
Excited.
A pleasure to all. I'm so glad that I'm fresh off my big win, and why don't you tune in for next episode? I'm sure it'll be a delight. Over and out.
Over and out.